Welcome back to Team New Kent Talks, your podcast that delivers on sharing stories about our students, staff, and community members. Today I'm excited to talk to cast members from Shrek, the musical. Shrek rehearsals have already started. You can see Shrek May 8th, May 9th, or May 10th, and May 10th. You can see it multiple times, 7 p.m. here at New Kent High School. Tickets are available online, and we're also putting a link in the description of this video. So don't miss out because it could sell out. Today I'm joined with Calum Roberts, who will play the role of Shrek. He gets in character for this one, so be ready. And then you can't have Shrek without a donkey, so Sophie Ward joins us for this conversation. They'll share a lot about getting ready for this production. They'll share some of their thoughts on plans post-secondary and talk about the 3 E's, all in an action-packed, fun-filled episode of Team New Kent Talks. I hope you enjoy. Really appreciate you guys being here today. You guys doing okay?
Yes, of course we are.
You are the first guest we've had. I guess everybody's in costume a little bit, but you're definitely in costume. So I'm excited to talk about Shrek.
Yes.
So this is going to be, I know the audience can't figure this one out on their own, but I'm going to ask the question, right? So first, how about introduce your real selves to us?
Okay, well, I'm Sophie.
I'm Calum.
Okay, and you guys are students in New Kent High School?
Yes.
We are. I'm a junior here.
I'm a freshman.
Okay, so we have freshmen and a junior here. We have Shrek that is coming up. What role do you play in Shrek?
Oh, well, I play Shrek.
Yeah,
Yes.
Of course, I play Donkey.
Okay, there we go.
Obviously.
So now that we got that out of the way for the audience, what has the experience been like so far? And I ask that because I don't know if you know this, but I have a pretty significant resume in the theater industry at New Kent High School. Actually, I owe a lot of that to you and your tutelage.
Can I
So,
say?
but people see the show, and we'll talk more about that, but they don't see everything that goes into it. Like, you guys have been at this for quite some time. What's the experience been like?
Oh, it's been amazing.
It's been great.
Rehearsals
Very
are
hard.
so fun, and everyone in the cast, we're like family. When we have rehearsals, we have a common goal of obviously wanting to have like a great production, but also putting on rehearsals, we also have a little fun with that, and I think that's one of my favorite parts. Is like the experience is so great, and I just love being able to bond with like everyone in the cast. I think the experience has been great.
Nice. How about you? How's the experience been?
It's been great. Very difficult and takes a lot of my time. I do theater as late as I possibly can, and it's been a very hard struggle, but I fought through and I do my best.
That's
and I
nice.
enjoy it.
That's good. And you guys aren't full-time actors. Like, you have a heavy course load, and the freshman experience is very difficult. I know you work at Chesapeake Bay, and
yeah.
I mean, you just are incredible ambassadors for New Kent High School. So what part of the show are you most excited for the audience to see? Is there a part that we should, like, I'm going to be there, but what's like your favorite part so far?
I think my favorite part is the scene that you and Fiona are in. So like, there's a scene where they're just having the funnest time ever.
Oh, yes.
They kind of like actually like start to see each other, and they start to have fun with each other. And I think the best part is like my favorite part is like when they start like making jokes, playing air guitar, and like start fake like farting and all
Yes.
that. Like that's
That
the
comes right before that.
yeah, it's like it's my favorite part, to be honest. Yeah, it's like so funny.
So it's very high level.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
got
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How about you?
My favorite part would probably have to be my scene with Sophie, where we fight each other, but like not entirely. It's a punch buggy scene.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's like we play punch buggy, and it's the funnest thing ever.
And in the beginning, I'm not supposed to understand it, and then eventually I get it, and then I just like punch it off stage.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Set flying.
So putting on a show is not easy. So we talked about your favorite part. Let's flip it. Like, what's the most challenging aspect of preparing for this for you guys?
I think the most challenging aspect, okay, for me there's two. One is not memorizing lines, but when you first go into rehearsals after like lines are due, I think sometimes I kind of struggle trying to like remember my lines, but also still having the great characterization. So sometimes I'll say my lines, I'll get into character, and then there will be like a pause where I'm like thinking about it. But towards the end, it kind of becomes second nature. But I think that's kind of like the characterization while still memorizing your lines, like putting those two together and making them work together to make like the scene flow like fluently. I think that's probably the most challenging part for me.
That's interesting, because in any role I've played, I've had like a line and a half, and I've still struggled with that. So to put together, like when you see the show, you'll see just how many lines they have to memorize, but also the characterization that you mentioned. Like, it's not just knowing my lines, it is bringing that character to life in your own kind of way. That's awesome. How about you?
I would have to say the singing, most definitely. This is my first ever musical experience. Like, most of my days in rehearsal are spent singing.
Okay. Wow. Nice. Singing Shrek. I like it. So what has been your favorite part about working with the cast and crew? Like, Sophie, you kind of mentioned a little bit of that. It's an incredible, not only on stage, but everybody that's behind the scenes. So what's your favorite part about working with them?
I think everyone is so different, and I think a lot of people try and hang around people that are like them, but for me, when I hang out around people that are like completely the opposite of me, completely different, it kind of changes my viewpoints on things, and I'm able to like see things in a different perspective. And I think I like learning about how people think differently and how their ideas are different than mine. And when we put our ideas together, it makes one huge, amazing idea, like in concept. And I think that's my favorite part. It's just being around people that are so different than me and being able to just work together. I think it's kind of beautiful in a way.
Nice. I was told once that if you ever feel like you're absolutely right, like your viewpoint is 100% right, you're in trouble, because you need to be able to rethink it, and because everything continues to evolve. So having different people around you kind of helps you with that perspective and just being open. So that's awesome.
I would say I love how willing everyone is to help if someone needs help.
Nice.
So most specifically, my understudy, Addie, she is always willing to help me learn a part with the singing if I can't get it straight, or if like some characterization, if I need to get it right, I can watch her do it and I'm like, oh great, I can do this, twist that a little bit, and boom, got that. But
awesome. Everyone's
always willing to help no matter what.
I think the whole understudy piece is incredibly fascinating too, because you have to be ready.
Right.
And many of you have multiple roles and are understudies in different pieces.
Right.
And I think we actually saw that play out in Little Mermaid a little bit last year,
Yeah.
where there was a pretty significant role. I think Ariel's a significant role in that, where we, understudies stepped up and did a beautiful job. So
yeah, understudies work so hard, like if not harder than like the leads, because they have to learn so many parts to make sure that the show runs smoothly in case like a mishap happens. And I think we need to give more credit to our understudies for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's awesome. So Shrek, for those of you that don't know, is a fun and unique musical. What do you think sets it apart? So you've been in several of our productions. You've been in other productions, but your first high school piece. What sets it apart from others that you've been involved in?
I think it's that Shrek has such a large cast, but all the characters are named, and everyone has a character that is not ensemble, not counted as ensemble, and ensemble is like characters that aren't named that are usually just singing in the background. And yes, like Little Mermaid, we did that last year, and there were some characters that were counted as ensemble that were named, but Shrek, every single character is named. Pinocchio, the Sugar Plum Fairy, things like that. I think it gives people something to look forward to, because I think a lot of people may not want to do a play where they're not the lead, but I feel like every single character is important, because ensemble, you can't have a show without ensemble. And I think that's what sets Shrek apart, is that there's so many characters that are named, and you each have your own characterization for each character. They're so different, and I think that's what sets it apart.
So like when I was tree number 3 in my 4th grade play, in the
Yeah.
ensemble,
Yeah,
it
like-
wouldn't have been the same because you'd had tree 2 and 4.
Right, but you have to have tree number 3.
That's correct.
And if I was there, I would have been your tree number 2. That would
Nice.
have been.
I would say all of the emotional values in every scene play a huge part in it, because you've got the super funny bits and everything that's great and happiness, and then absolute despair, like sadness, you can say. Just no good parts in that part, because when I get angry, it all is over. And then you got somebody like Sophie or Donkey to come and bring me back out of it.
Very good.
So like the variation of
Yes.
like the scenes, yeah.
So if you come to Shrek, you'll laugh, you'll
Oh.
cry, you'll be sad, you'll be
All of them.
happy.
All
Just
the
everything.
emotions.
it's just a wide range, a
Oh, yeah.
buffet of you, if you will,
But mostly funny.
but mostly funny.
But mostly funny.
Yes.
But add that part.
Since you're here in costume, I don't know if anybody's noticed, I have to ask you, and this is not the official costume, so we have sort of a light version.
Yes.
How does getting into costume and makeup help you get into your character?
Well, I feel like I become the character in a way. Not like method acting, but kind of like becoming the character in a way. It just makes me get into like the mood, like, oh my god, I'm Donkey, I'm in a donkey outfit. I just think it helps you in that aspect. It's just like you feel like you become the character in a way.
Yeah, you automatically start doing this with your.
Yes. I'm like become a donkey in a way.
All right, I love it.
I would say the biggest part that helps me is definitely the stomach, because it helps with my walking, and a lot with like getting weighed down and like
Yeah.
looking like I'm always angry.
Yeah, because you're an ogre, right?
Yes.
Is ogre the proper term? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So you are a little bit kind of yeah.
Yeah.
We've talked about Shrek. So remind us when Shrek is happening.
May 8th, 9th, and 10th.
May 8th, 9th, and 10th.
The
Oh, look at
weekend
that.
After prom.
We have a poster. It's the weekend after prom, so it doesn't interfere with your prom activities. We've talked a lot about Shrek, and we'll finish with Shrek. But I got to ask you, we always talk about the 3 E's. So enrollment, enlistment, employment, like kind of what you're looking at post New Kent High School. Maybe a little tough for you, just starting this journey. But, what are you guys looking at post New Kent High School? Any ideas or thoughts?
Oh.
You and I have had this conversation, so I definitely know you have some thoughts.
Yeah, well, after high school, I unfortunately won't be doing theater anymore. That's why I'm trying to make the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to become a neurosurgeon, so I'm going to be in school for a long time. So I'm hoping to go to a 4-year college, go to medical school, residency, and then become a neurosurgeon. So.
Very nice. So any freshman thoughts, ideas, and things you think, or are you still in that exploring phase, which is absolutely perfect?
I've got some pretty big dreams.
Okay.
I would like to keep doing theater
Yeah.
throughout the rest of my life, and I plan to do my best to get a Juilliard.
Oh, very nice. All right, I have one more question for you guys. I'm so excited about seeing Shrek. I will definitely be there. I love opening night, but I also like to come like one other time and just kind of see the evolution of it. So the next question is going to take a little bit of a different turn. I'd like you to do this in character, if you could. So the real question that's been on my heart this whole time, as much as I'd love talking to you, is how come I wasn't cast in the show?
I mean, I think you were great. I think you were great. I don't know about Shrek. Shrek, you want to say something? Because I don't want to really say something right now. So
You're awful.
Oh, I wasn't.
Donkey, he must know. He needs to know.
Okay, as I try to process that, I want to thank our friends, truly, for coming on the show. Team New Kent Talks podcast, we're all about highlighting incredible students and incredible staff. And speaking of incredible, I know Shrek will be incredible. So thank you for being awesome students here, and thank you for taking this on. I just can't wait to. That's a wrap on this episode of Team New Kent Talks. Make sure you come out and see Shrek and see Donkey and see the rest of the cast on stage at New Kent High School May 8th through the 10th. You definitely don't want to miss out. No matter where our students are performing, we're proud. Whether they're behind the scenes, on stage, or in the audience, their creativity, their dedication, and their teamwork will take them far as they move forward with their journey. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. Look forward to seeing you soon.